Welcome to our 12 Days of Christmas nail art series featuring me, Talia from Talia's Nail Tales.
And me from Sarah's Nail Secrets. We had so much fun doing the series last year that we're doing it again with 12 new themes.
Be sure to check the description box below for links to last year's videos. Let's get started.
So I wanted to explain how I came up with this design. So I got these pictures from Pinterest of these flowers trapped in ice, and that's where I got the idea from. So I wanted to definitely do that on the ring fingers, but I knew that that would take me so much time to do it on the rest. So the rest I kind of did sort of like a melted marble look, so that it would kind of look like the same as the ring finger, the flowers in the background, just kind of like smushed flowers with the frosted look over top. So that's how I got this idea. So let's get started. The first color I'm using is Glam and Glitz Cute as a Button, and I'm just coming in and applying this right at the cuticle area. This is going to be the finger that the roses are on, so I am just doing a super thin kind of washed color look, and then I'm going to do the encapsulated flowers on top of it. The next color is called Happy Hour from the Color Blend collection as well, and again I'm just picking up some monomer, picking up that color and just washing that over top of this nail. Now I'm coming in with Glam and Glitz Betty, this beautiful burgundy red, and I'm just bringing this a little bit in as well. And the white I'm bringing in is called Milky White from Glam and Glitz. So the reason I chose this exact white was because it's milky, so it's kind of like clear mixed with white. So I thought it would be cool to incorporate that in this design when doing the frosted flowers, and I'll show you that in a bit. So this has to be really thin because I am doing 3D flowers on top. So here I'm coming in and I've just double dipped in some pure white mixed with one of the colors. So I did just kind of pick up one of the colors at a time for the flowers, so each petal is slightly different. So you're going to place the bead on the nail, and then you're going to want to drain out some of that liquid. You want to have your bead wet enough when you first put it down so that it's not too dry and flakes away or falls off the nail. So you do want it to be kind of wet when you place it down, and then you'll want to drain out that color with your brush. So here I'm using my Ugly Duckling 3D brush, and I'm just coming in and patting that down and then wiping my brush very often, trying to remove a lot of that liquid. And then over time, when you keep doing that, you'll be able to create some dimension on your flower. The first petal I place is always going to be the flattest petal because this is the one that will be overlapped. So I am overlapping the side of this petal onto that petal. And then the side of this petal will need to be flatter for the next petal to overlap that. So I'm just doing a 3-petaled flower just to make it a little bit easier for myself. Sometimes I like to do 4 petals, but this one's just going to be 3 because this will take me quite a while because I am doing this on this hand and on the other hand. Think of it like you're making a C. So you want to put your bead down nice and wet and then push it in with the tip of your brush to create a C. And then when your bead is dry enough that you can maneuver it, then you'll want to push in and remove that liquid and flatten your bead. So now I'm coming in and I'm doing a center bead. So I like to do 2 center beads. One will be to create some dimension, and then the other one will be to create like the little center of it. So here I decided to put down the pink and the red, but it was too dark, so I had to add some white to it. So again, you're just going to create a C, and you're just going to create like another petal that's over top of all your other petals. When that's dry, you can come in with the last bead. So I usually do the middle bead the lightest, so here I did it mostly white. And then I'm just using the very tip of my brush to push that in, remove that liquid, and create the center of my flower. So then I'm recreating that flower again on the very tip of this because I did want this full nail to be kind of like the frosted flowers theme. So I'm just going to speed that up for you guys. So I'm going to be using this Light Elegance Violet Shimmer. It kind of reminded me of Frost, and I'm just placing this with some clear acrylic and monomer on top of those flowers. So to move on to the rest of the set, I double dipped here in those first two colors, Happy Hour and Cute as a Button. And I'm starting this right at the cuticle area, and then I'm just pulling it down the nail. So here I'm coming in with that milky white, and I'm doing that again. So remember, I wasn't trying to create a marble. I'm more like creating a wash. So I'm just placing these on the nail and just kind of washing them into each other. So not really marbled. You don't really want to do too much work. Just kind of place them on, mess them up, make it look really watery looking. You know what I mean? Like water marble. So I'm just repeating that on the rest of the nails. All the other nails will be like this. Once all those nails have dried, now I'm coming in with that milky white. I'm just pulling this from the right corner to the left corner and just kind of washing this over top of that washed marble look that I already created. And I'm pulling that violet shimmer light elegance glitter on top as well to give it more of that frosted look. Again, once that has all dried, now I'm coming in and I'm encapsulating all of these nails. So I'm using my Glam and Glitz Back to Basics line, and I'm just coming in around the cuticle area, and then I'm patting this into place and pulling it down to the tip. The brush I'm using here is my Ugly Duckling number 8 brush. For the 3D encapsulated flower nails, to encapsulate these nails, you're going to want to do it really wet. I always like to apply it on the tip first, on the first flower, and you want it really wet in order to avoid air bubbles because the bubbles will show right through the glass tip. So apply this a little bit wetter, and then you want to fill in all the petals of the flower and then continue to encapsulate this nail. So that's what I'm doing here. So because this nail didn't get that wash of white over top because of the 3D flowers, I did decide to come in with that milky white and do my wash through the encapsulated white just to get that frosted white look that all the other nails have on it. So here's how all the nails look now before I have finish filed them. And I did actually decide to finish file off camera because this video was going to be too long. So if you are interested in that, check back my other videos to see how I do finish filing. So now I'm coming in with Ugly Duckling Melt It in Clear, and I'm just applying this one at a time or two at a time. So here I'm applying it on the pinky finger and the ring finger, and this is a melting blooming gel polish. So you apply this first and then you can pull any color through it and it will melt and create kind of a cool melted effect. So I wanted to use this to create those lines that were in the melted flower ice inspiration I had. So here I'm coming in with the Ugly Duckling number 44 gel polish, and I'm just going around the whole nail with this. So this will melt a little bit. It won't be a perfect line or anything. So I'm going around the corners and then I'm going to pull this through that gel to create those icy looking lines. Because I'm using such a little bit of white gel, that's why you only want to do one or two nails at a time, or it will melt way too much and you won't even have any of those icy looking lines in the end. So just do one or two at a time. So I wanted to create a 3D frosted flower, but I wanted to do it before my client came. So I used these awesome 3D gels from Egoista, and I kind of mixed the colors together So here I'm just placing a flat bead on top of another piece I already cured, on top of one of the Apris Gel X extension pieces. And I thought that this would be great to create a 3D flower so that I could just pop it off, and it totally worked. So you're just gonna wanna take a silicone dotting tool kind of thing, and you push in right at the center and then just do a swirl. So you don't have to break up your rose in any way, just literally a swirl. And then to make your rose look more defined, I went in with a 3D brush and some alcohol, and I'm just going in and I'm really defining those petals, pulling them out, and trying to make them look a little wavy and different, just kind of change it up a little bit, just so that when I pop it off, it looks like a nice rose and not just like a swirly blob, you know? So the cool thing about using these 3D gels is you can play with them for as long as you want, and the only time they cure is when you pop them in the light, so they're kind of a great alternative for those who struggle with 3D. See, so cool. So then I gave that a cure, and now I'm coming in with the Light Elegance Just White Buttercream and the Light Elegance Sugars in Snow White, and I'm just rubbing some of that white buttercream on the tips of this flower because I wanted it to look like a frosty flower. And then I'm coming in and sprinkling that Snow White sugar mixed with glitter on top of it so it'll stick to that. You're really going to want to brush that in so there's no extra big chunks, and then cure that. So I did 2 beforehand, and then to pop them off, you just kind of bend the tip and they just pop right off. Super easy. And then to make this fit on the nail nicely, I just came in with a medium cone carbide, and I'm just going underneath the nail to really file that out and make it so it'll fit nicely onto her nail. To stick my pre-made flower on, I'm using my Ugly Duckling Stick It. This is my favorite gel type glue, and I'm just pushing that right in, and I'm going to cure this before applying more crystals. So all the crystals I'm using here are from Crystal Princess, and I'm using the white opals and crystal clear. And for this month, you can use my code Sarah10 and you'll get 10% off. So after I've got all my crystals in place, now I'm using these tiny silver beads and I'm pushing them into the leftover stick-it that's in between the crystals. Before curing this, to give it an even more frosty look, I'm just sprinkling some of this glittery stuff into that stick-it. Tap off the excess and then you give that a full cure. So I'm just coming in and wiping off any extra glitter that could have been left behind. And this kind of pulled down the nail onto that blooming gel that I left there, which was kind of cool, so it kind of gave it like a frosty, faded look. So here I'm coming in with my Kira Sky No Wipe top coat to finish these off and top coat all the nails. And you don't need to top coat your crystals or your flower or any of the glitter that is on this nail because you'll just ruin the look. So just apply it on top of just the plain nail. After that's been fully cured, here is my finished design. So I absolutely loved this set so much. So the friend I did this on loves pink, so I thought this would be the perfect design for her. So I hope you guys liked my idea with the melting gel. So if you do plan to use any of mine and Talia's designs for inspiration, please tag us with the hashtag #SecretNailTales, and that way we can actually take a look at your designs if you're using Instagram. So check out what Talia did. Don't forget to check out her channel. I absolutely am obsessed with what she did. I would wear this all the time. I love everything about it. Love the metallic pointer finger, the frosty looking flowers. I just love it all. So don't forget to check out what she did and how she did it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!